Rahim and Assalamu alaikum. A very good morning to all of you. This is AppSec's online support program OSP round 3. I am your science teacher for class 4. This is your revision topic that we have already studied in OSP round 1. Textbook Smart Science Skill 4 textbook, page number 19 and 35. Chapter Introducing Habitats, lesson a topic, environmental factors and some common habitats. Resources required: textbook Smart Science Skills 4 and internet connection. Introduction and summary of the lesson is: the place where organism lives is called its habitat. There are living and non-living factors in a habitat, different habitats and their organisms. Quote of the day is: there is no elevator to success, you have to take the stairs. Which means there is no shortcut for success, you have to face each and every phase of your struggle in order to get the success. Objectives: today we will learn about different concepts related to the habitat, living and non-living factors of a habitat, and some different types of habitat. Let's start with the basics. What is a habitat? We have already discussed that a habitat is a place where animals and plants live, from where they get water, food and shelter, and they reproduce in the habitat as well. Terminologies: some basic terminologies are: organisms. What is the meaning of organisms? All the living things are called organisms, which mean plants, animals, insects, birds, humans as well. They are called organisms. When we talk about organisms, which means all the living things. Next is population. Population means a group of organisms of the same kind that lives together is called population. They reproduce in the same place, which means population means the same organisms. If we are talking about a group of elephants, we will call it the population, means the same kind of organism that lives together in a same place. It's called population. What is community? Community means different population of plant and animal in a habitat forms a community. As you can see in this picture, there are different group of animals which are living together in a habitat. It forms a community. But population means only single kind or same kind or one kind of organisms living in a habitat. They form the population. This is the basic difference between population and community. Community is when different population lives together, and population means single type of organism living together. Next, where do animals live? As we all know, animals either live on land or in water. What are the environmental factors of a habitat? We have already discussed that there are living factors and non-living factors in every habitat. Living factors include the food availability and other organisms. But non-living, there are 5 non-living factors which include temperature, water, light, air and soil. These are the non-living factors which are necessary and which are present in the habitat. Now we will learn some different types of habitat. The first habitat is pond habitat. A pond is basically include a small land area outside the edge of the pond. Pond is an aquatic habitat and living things in a pond live in a water. Some examples of animal or plants which live in a pond habitat is like pond skater, duck, dragonfly, some ferns, some mosquitoes, some insects, some kind of fishes, etc. The next habitat is field habitat. Field habitat basically may not look like a habitat, but it is actually home to many types of plants and animals. Some animal lives among the plant and some live in the ground or within the soil. Some examples are spider, earthworm and bee. The spider lives in the plants. The spider make the web among the plants, but the earthworm lives in the soil, and the bee lives in the flowers or in the plants of that habitat. Next is garden habitat. Garden habitat usually exists in warm conditions and contains a variety of organisms. Tree and bushes in the garden habitat provides food, shelter and shade for the animals. You can see some examples of animals and plants which can live in the or which can be found in the garden habitat, like bee, ferns, hibiscus flowers, grasshoppers, butterfly, etc. Next habitat is seashore habitat. Seashore means the edge of the sea. Seashore habitat is home to several kinds of plants and as well as the animals. Waves bring in the food for some of the animals which can be found in the seashore. The plants which can be found at the seashore habitats are pong pong, palm trees, coconut, and sea hibiscus. But the animals include seagull, clam, hermit crab, starfish. These are the examples of animals and plants which can be found in the seashore habitat. Next is mangrove habitat. Mangroves are usually hot and covered in seawater. The plants which are submerged in the water, basically their aerial roots provide food and shelter for many organisms in this habitat. Some examples are sea snakes, mud skipper, monkey, egret, alligator. These are the examples of animals which can be found in the mangrove habitat. Next is desert habitat. As we all know, a desert is a sandy and a rocky place that receives a little rain, or you can say a very little amount of rain. The soil is often very sandy or rocky. Desert temperature can ranges from over 100 degree Fahrenheit but can be plummet to the 35 degree Fahrenheit at night, which means it is very hot during the day but gets very cold at the night. Some examples of organisms which can be found in desert habitat are scorpion, cactus, camel, rattlesnake, or dung beetle. These are the example of organisms which can be found in the desert habitat. Next is Arctic habitat. The Arctic habitat is extremely cold, snowy, and windy. However, there are certain organisms which can survive these harsh conditions. The soil in the Arctic is mostly covered with snow or small plants. Some examples of organisms which can be found in this habitat are snowy owl, salmon, Arctic fox, polar bear, walrus or lichens, etc. The next is leaf litter habitat. A leaf litter habitat basically it is a habitat that occupies a small area which is called as microhabitat. Leaf litter is an example of microhabitats. It is made up of dead leaves, bark and small branches. The examples of organisms which can be found in leaf litter habitat are centipede, fungi, millipede, earthworm, scorpions, etc. These are the examples of organisms which can be found in the leaf litter habitat. Now we will take a quick recap. Habitat is a place where organisms live. There are living and non-living factors in a habitat. There are some different types of habitat which we have discussed in this video, like pound habitat, field habitat, garden habitat, seashore habitat, mangrove habitat, desert habitat, Arctic and leaf litter habitat. Now your task. You have to read the text on page number 19 till 35 thoroughly for clearing the concepts. Learn the meaning of the given vocab words. Find some habitat in your surrounding. Draw the colorful diagram of any two habitats. You can draw this diagram in your notebook and send me the pictures. Thank you.